Right, so this episode I've had a request to show you guys how to solo raids 1. Who's that? Cerebus. Must have died. So it's quite simple. I'm not exactly taking top tier gear. All you're going to really want is just a simple inventory. I'm not going to use all this, it's just there just in case things go a bit south. This might not be the smoothest of kills because this is what, my third solo kill. So it's nice and simple. We're just going to drink the overload. No need to worry about healing because everything will refresh when you go in there. It helps when I create the raid. Let's go. So I am just going to use Soul Split just to try help with the odd bit of damage that I take. I say that, but I'm probably going to end up using food. So the objective here is to just make Olm's head move, because every time it rotates from side to side, don't worry about the portals, you can heal that damage, but every time it rotates from side to side, as you will tell, it's just going to not hit me. So therefore, if you practice this long enough, you could probably very potentially just keep killing it without actually taking any damage. You could probably get away with just bringing in a whole inventory of super restores. And honestly, you could probably also drop the overload and just bring an extreme magic or range, whatever the method it is that you're using. I mean, yes, you might want to use an overload if you're meleeing. There we go, look, just a random attack there. But if we just keep running back and forth, just keep rotating the head, it's very simply just going to not attack me. The only problem with this method is the second rotation. It's a bit of a tricky one because of the pathing. If Smith was to kindly sort out the pathing, that'd be beautiful. And another problem with this method is it does take longer to kill. But as you can tell, it's highly worth it because I'm doing it solo. It's not really taking any effort whatsoever. And I'm not really taking any damage. You take the occasional bit of damage, look, but that's why I'm using Soul Split. We might as well grab the portal whilst we're here. Yeah, that's why I'm using Soul Split, because that little bit of damage I do occasionally take, just very simply bringing it right back. If you was to be in higher tier gear, you could honestly do this really fast. I believe some oops. Okay, when this happens, you can, if you want to, just occasionally just hit, or you can just simply just keep running back and forth if you don't want to take that extra damage. Oh, ouch. Yeah, this is why you bring the food, look, because if you don't master the method from practice, you do take stupid damage. Oh, just off. So it's this simple, look, you're just running back and forth, taking 0 damage from Olm. And this is what's called head running, because you are just running back and forth with the head. Oh, look at that, perfect. So I'm just going to finish up this phase, and I will be back when the second phase begins, because you don't really want to sit here and watch the whole 10-15 minute kill. So I'll be back with you guys when the second phase begins, and I'll show you what I mean about the pattern on that. So I do believe the second phase is about to start. Just what you want to do is just, what I found works best, just hold this line here, get yourself set on it before the kill starts, because you can kind of just bounce yourself with the hands. This one, instead of just focusing the one hand, I usually do focus both, because if you try just focus the one hand, I will show you what happens. Oh, taking a bit of damage here. Oh, that was uncalled for. See, that's not supposed to happen. I don't know why it happens, it's just, it happens. When you run through that lightning, you are supposed to take no damage. But yeah, see, if you do just try track the one hand, the tracking on this one works really poorly. I don't know why, considering the other phase works perfectly fine. But on this one, it just doesn't seem to want to. So I quite simply, I'll just focus both hands and just bounce back and forth between the two. It might take you a couple of attempts to get this down, but in the end, when you are just simply just soloing raids 1, getting yourself all the ancestral, all the twisted bows that you need, I don't see why not. And sometimes you can even just use the portals in your advantage to just teleport across the room and make sure that his head rotates. So you know how this one's going to work. I'm just going to keep running this same thing, dodging, see, like that. As you run through the lightning, it's supposed to just ignore you and not affect you. It's just every so often, it just goes, no, I must stop you right there. So I'm going to finish off this phase, and then I'll show you what I do with the head when you just get onto the next phase, because it is simple, the same as this one. You don't necessarily need the food, but I do like to just make sure my health's at a fine standard. And don't feel too bad if you've got to just get yourself back in rhythm. You know, you don't want to attempt to just be attacking whilst you're getting into rhythm and then just taking unnecessary damage. So I'll be back with you when we're done with this phase and we're back on the head. As we enter the head phase, you may notice two different things. Oh, one thing that you should notice is this is a different run. I did end up dying in the one that I was recording, and then I decided to cut off for the night. Woke up to find that my internet had been cut off. So I'm currently recording this on my mobile data, so if you notice anything that's a bit laggy looking, that's why. But with the head, when you get it into sync, it is just as simple as the others. Just going to run back and forth here, get it into sync. There we go, we should be good to go. I don't know what I just took poison damage from. Oh, nice. It's quite. In this phase, obviously, you don't have to worry about the hands. It doesn't matter if you accidentally misclick them. I do it a lot because the hitbox on them is stupid. But yeah, it's just as simple as the rest. You're just running back and forth and just trying to make sure that he's not going to attack you. Because 9 times out of 10 he won't hit you, but there's obviously the occasional time when he's like, ha ha ha, I see through what you are doing, enjoy the attack. Like now, he seems to be in a hitting rhythm, so I am just gonna, yeah, see, look, I'm out of sync with the portals, so they're a bit tricky for me to land. But I am going to try quickly bring him back into rhythm here, because he does just seem to be hitting me. He shouldn't be hitting me, but he is. Great. Let's see if we can recover from that. Nice, 77 to help to see. Should not have hit me there. But yeah, we're just going to keep running the head, really. Just keep making sure it goes back and forth, back and forth. This is usually the faster part of the kill, because obviously you are only attacking one entity. You haven't got to deal with both hands. So you are just running back and forth, slaughtering the head. But yeah, normally, like I said, normally you can do this using only like 3 or 4 food. Obviously I've used a little more this time because I'm not exactly running the smoothest at the moment. And the first time it was just a typical case of start recording, you're gonna scuff everything. Oh, step in the portal. See, I'm out of sync with the portal, so you have no idea which tile to stand on. But yeah, I'm not exactly in top tier gear. I could, if I was to practice and then try, you could do this. You could probably do this with rune knives. You could probably do this with bronze knives, honestly. It is a little too easy. But that's just my opinion. And as we come to a close here, ignore your orb, you little shit. Oh, excuse the language. No, I'm gonna eat because if I don't, I'm gonna die here and that'll be a waste of a kill. Like that. Yeah. 14 health left and I've just scuffed it. So as you've seen, it is quite simple. I'm not going to run through again and record the whole thing again because it's a pain in the ass to try to speak over it whilst trying to keep on rhythm with what you're doing. But you should be able to get a simple enough gist of what's going on to be able to solo this yourself. And I hope it's helped, and if it has, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.